Welcome to In Bed with Dan and Kelly.
Hello, everybody.
I've got to share with you this wonderful book I am reading. It just came out.
Spitting all over me. Okay.
Little Girl Blue.
Oh.
The Life of Karen Carpenter.
Written by whom?
It's written by Randy Schmidt.
Okay.
And this is the first unauthorized book about Karen Carpenter. So there's a lot of wonderful stuff in here. Now I have to tell you, I loved the Carpenters back when I was growing up. You know, I mean, back then it was the rock and roll 60s.
They had the Carpenters back then.
Excuse me. But you know, people were listening to Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I mean, I like some of the stuff they did, but the Carpenters I was listening to, Tijuana Brass I was listening to, and the Ray Conniff Singers.
But
see, you know what?
They were so... What attracted you to Karen Carpenter?
You know what? They were so milquetoast and wholesome. I was embarrassed to admit that I liked the Carpenters. So I kind of was a closeted Carpenter lover.
Yeah.
What attracted me to all of them? You know, the only way I can tell you really is the same kind of feeling. Well, listening to Karen Carpenter's voice then and now is the kind of feeling that I had when I was at the Sistine Chapel. When I walked into the Sistine Chapel and I was under Michelangelo's work of art, I knew I was in the presence of genius.
That's the feeling you got.
That's only how I can describe when I listened to this angel's voice of Karen Carpenter.
No, I have to admit, when I was younger, I loved the Carpenters also. And I would listen to their music and I was so comforted. It made me feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if I was a little down, it picked me up.
And now I am so proud to say I am a Karen Carpenter fan. I have to read you the opening line of Randy's book.
Okay.
I want you to know I did not kill my daughter.
Now, who's saying that?
Okay. Well, maybe I should have set it up first.
Yeah.
But Agnes Carpenter, Karen Carpenter's mother, said this to Barry Morrow, who did the screenplay to the Karen Carpenter story. There was a TV movie in the late 80s, which I love that film. I wish it would come out on DVD. Anyway, Barry Morrow, the screenplay writer, was there trying to interview Agnes Carpenter, Mama Carpenter.
Right.
And he rang the doorbell. The housekeeper comes up. Mama Carpenter pushes the housekeeper out of the way and says to him, I did not kill my daughter. It was his introduction to Mama Carpenter.
Now, interesting. Why is she saying that?
Well, as you know, because...
A little guilty, maybe?
Because, you know, Karen Carpenter died of anorexia nervosa, which is a control issue.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of problems with her mother. Her mother was a control freak, very much like I understand Richard Carpenter is.
Right.
So the mother and son are kind of control freaks, and the father and the daughter were not that way. And
that was the only way that she could have some sense of control was by this disease.
Exactly.
Controlling her eating.
And I have to read to you...
You know, did I tell you that I went to her wedding?
I don't want to hear that. Now, let me just read this because this puts it into a nutshell of what happened here.
Okay.
This is a statement in 1996 in New York Times Magazine by Rob Hauerberger. And here's what he says, quote, if anorexia has classically been defined as a young woman's struggle for control, then Karen was a prime candidate for the two things she valued most in the world, her voice and her mother's love, which were exclusively the property of Richard.
Unbelievable. So the two of them controlling her.
Mama Carpenter never gave any time to Karen. It was always Richard.
Or what about the time when she wanted to move out at age 25? Karen wanted to move out of the house at age 25?
Yeah.
And Mama Carpenter wasn't going to allow that.
No.
How dare you, everything I've done for you.
And
Unbelievable.
Louise Fletcher, the actress, plays
Yeah.
Mama Carpenter in this TV, what's it called, The Song of Love or something, but the Karen Carpenter story. She really portrays her quite well. And this was authorized by Richard Carpenter.
Yeah.
So it was under his control, but Louise Fletcher kind of, you know, if you can read the subtext, she does a great job.
That's why it's so good this book is unauthorized. Okay, the wedding, 1980. Yeah. A friend of mine was her musical conductor, George Hernandez, and he invited me to her wedding. And I thought, oh my God, this is so exciting.
Oh, wow.
So we get there, and when I saw Karen Carpenter in the wedding, she was very frail, very thin. I mean, it was sad.
See, that makes sense because that was 1980,
Yeah.
and then she died in 1983.
Yeah.
Right. Did you get to meet her?
I think I did briefly, as I recall.
Oh,
and it was.
I would have loved
an honor.
to
It was
meet
nice.
her. You know, she lived. She had a place in Century City, which is a stone throw from here. And when they. During their heyday, when they were starting to get wealthy, they did a couple investments, and they bought 2 buildings in Downey, which is where they're from.
I love
and
this.
the first building they named Close to You,
Yeah.
and the second building they named We've only just begun.
We've only
or
just
something like that.
begun. I love that.
And in the mid 90s, a girlfriend of mine lived in Downey, and I said, "Do you know where Karen Carpenter lived? You know where Karen Carpenter lived?" So I actually we went down there, and I stood in front of her house, took pictures and everything, and then this is from. This is actually the house. It's on Newville Avenue in Downey.
This is where she grew up.
This is an album cover, and this is the actual house they lived in. This is their Corvette. There's Karen. There's Richard. But this is the house that and it was so great standing, right where it's like.
Yeah.
This means a lot to me. Being someplace, having the energy, being someplace where somebody sang once or was once. I love doing that.
Well, this is why I love autobiographies and biographies, because you're getting down to the nitty-gritty of what really happened behind the scenes.
Exactly. Karen, her favorite song was I Need to Be in Love. Her favorite song that she recorded was I Need to Be in Love. Oh, God, I love that. I have got some trivia for you.
I can't stand trivia.
Oh, but you'll love this.
It.
You'll
Okay,
love this.
Go ahead.
Okay. The Carpenters, their breakout song was
Close to You.
right, and the longer title is They Long to Be Close to You, right? I like to point. Okay, and so they were not the first group to sing this. Do you have any idea who first sang this?
No, I don't. But give me a hint.
And it went on to his album.
Okay, hint.
A hint. Okay. He played a doctor.
Kildare.
You looked at it.
Are you kidding? I'm serious. I was guessing.
Yes,
I didn't
it was
know.
Richard
right? That was
Chamberlain
right?
who played Dr. Kildare on television.
Oh my God,
Right,
I won.
yes.
Tell her, Johnny, what she's won.
And this is 1963.
He
about
sang
8
the
years
song?
before the Carpenters had a hit with it. He sang the song. It was written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. And yeah, he cut the song.
So what happened?
I didn't know that.
What happened to his singing career?
Who?
Richard Chamberlain.
Well, he's an actor, so I think he just, cut an album and didn't go very far, and that's the way it
From the
was.
recording studio to the ER room.
Yes. So to bring this around full circle,
Hand out of my face.
excuse us. No, okay. To bring this around full circle, to bring it to current day.
Yes.
Being a writer, I'm always going after interviews,
Yeah.
seeking that wonderful interview. And I sent a request to Richard Carpenter about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Last week, I get a personal phone call, well, not from him, but from his personal assistant that has worked with him for many, many years. And she said he is so touched that you sent him a request to be interviewed. He's going to pass, but he just wanted me to call and make sure that, it was
that was nice.
So what a nice personal gesture. It means a lot to me that, he gave a personal phone call just to say that he wasn't interested.
That's nice.
So, Richard, I appreciate that.
What I have they used to call the blues.
Nothing is really wrong.
Feeling like I don't belong.
Coming around,
Some kind
nothing's
of
a lonely
lonely
clown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Wait, before we go, wait. We just put up our new website.
Newly designed.
You guys will love this. It's a great way for us to stay in touch with you, for us to hear your thoughts. And listen, if you are a great interview for us,
Yes.
please let us know. We will contact you. We want to hear from you.
And subscribe to our mailing list so you can get a little in on what's coming up next. The address is Dan with a double N and Kelly.com.
Thank you guys, for allowing us to be close to you.
close to you.
See you next time on In Bed with Dan and Kelly. On the day that you were born, the angels came together and decided. No, not came. Got together.
Does it matter if I say came or got?
Oh, my God.